fighting pretzels. We never knew that.
What's that?
The home of the fighting pretzels.
Yeah, that's right. The fighting pretzels.
Last July is when we were fortunate enough to find the Freeport Airport.
There you go. That's right. So what are the plans? I mean, today this is going to fly. Tomorrow this is going to fly. What are you?
Depends on how time goes.
I gotcha.
Definitely will fly tomorrow.
And then home or Oshkosh, or where are you? Oshkosh.
After we're happy with it and
Yeah.
everything's working, off to Oshkosh. We put in the EAA museum there till the Oshkosh show, the Air Venture.
Yep.
And then at the end of it, we'll fly back. And I'm sure that we will make a low pass.
Hey, good deal.
When we pass over, I hope it's just a low pass.
With 2 engines running.
Yeah, with 2 engines running strong.
So for the folks that don't know, what are we looking at here?
This is an A-20, A-20 Havoc.
A-20
It's a
Havoc.
World War II light bomber. It's the only flying A-20 in the world.
Only flying 820 in the world.
Yep.
That's incredible.
It's the only one.
So how many shows has it been in? I mean, have you guys?
0.
So this is last year was the first one, and that was
Maiden voyage
wow.
to Oshkosh, and we made it to the world's first A-20 museum right here in Freeport.
That's right. World's first. That's right.
I'm Stuart Dawson. I'm from a little town north of Dallas, a little town called Salina.
Yeah.
Retired airline pilot, and been flying warbirds since I was a kid. This is one of Rod Lewis's newest restorations. It's about, what is it, Bob, about a year and a half old now?
The restoration? Yeah.
About a year and a half old.
Wow. So when you first flew to go to Oshkosh, it was 6
Well,
months?
it was done in California, and I went out there and flew it in California,
Yep.
and then brought it back to Texas. And we flew around there a little bit, and then we were going to bring it to Oshkosh. And that's when we made it this far, and the right engine decided it wasn't happy.
Didn't want to work no more.
And it was the people who built the engines do a really good job. The cylinder assemblies here were done by another company. And they had what they call a yellow tag on them, which means that they were inspected and ready to go. Well, that was fine, but they weren't ready to go.
So when did you first notice it? Were you by Rockford? Were you pretty much over Freeport? Were you?
No, we were just cruising along here. I was about 15 miles from here.
Did you have somebody with you?
My wife,
Oh, you had your wife with you.
she was in the back. There's only 2 places.
2 spots in there?
It's a big airplane and only carries 2 people.
That's amazing.
You've got 1 seat up front,
Yeah.
and then you've got, well, you could put 2 in the back. but Normally it was 1. And you've got the turret right here,
Yeah.
and this is the way you enter the airplane right here.
Look at this. Oh, this is where you enter. Oh, how about that?
And then you've got a 50 caliber here. So you had a gunner back here, and you were up front.
Right.
And
Incredible.
she was in the back.
Wow.
Hey Lou, sir, I'm not even gonna take the ring
So what's it
off.
feel like to fly this thing? It's gotta be
It's really
incredible,
a neat
huh?
airplane. It really is. This is the 3 to the B-25, which is basically what we had when we entered the war.
Right.
And it's a really neat airplane. This is the only one.
Yeah, right. It's the only one in the.
flying. There's another one that's under restoration, but it's a ways out
And this is only in the world.
in the world.
Amazing, isn't it?
And Mr. Lewis has quite a few airplanes, and this is a very special one that he has. I think he's got 35 warbirds,
How about that?
and he's very passionate about his old airplanes.
So when do you think you'll fly it? I mean, tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
What are you ladies out here today for?
To watch it take off. Norma and her husband have been.
We came out because of Oshkosh last year, and we discovered that this plane had lost an engine just about getting here. And we talked to the guys and came back many times. And
Why dressed up?
Why dress up? We just thought it'd be cool. Get our pictures taken by
stand
it.
by the plane.
We want to take some pictures of the guys that
Be historic.
took all the time and
Yeah.
did that.
What have you guys had to do to it? I mean, the engine,
Pull both engines off,
yeah.
have them rebuilt, put them back on. And now we're doing an annual condition inspection on the airplane. And when that's finished, we're sure everything's perfect. We'll fly it. Nice.
What do you think about Freeport?
I just love it. It's a great town. Everybody is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this old couple came out the first time we were here, and they said, we're going to bring you some cookies. And I said, well, I don't drink cookies. I
Right.
don't eat cookies, but I like beer. So they brought us cookies and beer.
There you go.
Well, this was a friend of hers, and the one she has on was Jack's.
Oh, okay.
We had done a program together for the senior center where it was the 40s, and so we had dressed up. And
it fits you much better than it would Jack.
Look at him now.
yeah, Jack and Norma danced at that, and of course they've been dancing for what?
70 years.
70 years. You've been dancing for about 80 years.
My leg broke 2.5 years ago, and they said, at your age, you won't be doing nothing for a year. And I said, like hell.
I hope you're not taping that.
No, that's the best part of the whole conversation right there. I like that line.
Exactly.
See,
No, we've enjoyed it. Everybody's been so hospitable.
Yep.
Everything's just been fun. And it takes us 2 days to get here.
Right.
It's 18-hour drive.
Where at in Texas?
San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah.
So it's a 2-day drive for us to get here.
So many times have you guys come back to Freeport since
Fifth time.
this is the 5th time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet thing too, because we've enjoyed coming up, but we gotta get it done.
Right.
But we have enjoyed coming
And we've had a great time. Everybody's been so nice. The airport manager and his daughter, boy, they've really helped us out a lot.
So what did you think when you first realized the town was called the Pretzel Town?
Well, we know.
That's probably the first one right there, huh?
Yeah, the fighting pretzels. Yeah, we've had a good time with that one.
I think we've been to every museum that was open. There was a couple of them that weren't open, but it's a neat little town. It's got a lot of history. And Jack Hooker's been our social director of Hooker Harnesses, the local business. It's a very well-known aviation business. And so he's been our social director. He meets us. He's got a hangar here, so he comes out every night and we
Right.
pick a place to go eat.
There you go.
And
Very cool.
yeah, so we've found a couple favorite spots. Each engine has a filter that's cleanable. So it's not like a spin-on filter. You can actually look at them. It was running rough, so we pulled the filter out and it's full of metal, and the engine's done.
So the engine's done then.
Right,
So
you know, right.
we pulled the first engine off. We came up. Of course, we put the airplane away. They were, so helpful again about had a hangar. Couldn't have picked a better airport. And so we went on to Oshkosh. We came back and made arrangements with the company that did the restoration on the airplane. They had a shipping fixture for the engine, so they shipped it up here. And we got here with we met it on the truck. The truck got here. Pulled the first engine off and sent it back to California where they built it. And they discovered something that made them suspicious that we may have had a problem with the second engine. So we came back up and did a more thorough inspection on the second engine and found indications that engine was going to be bad too.
Wow.
So they built the first, because there's only one shipping fixture for this engine, so it's such a rare aircraft. and
Sure.
combination.
Right.
We let them finish the first engine. They shipped it. We met it here again. We put the first engine back on, took the second engine off, put it on the fixture,
Right.
and shipped it to California. And by that time, when they finished the second engine, it was January. It just didn't make a lot of sense to
Come back
here in
up here.
January and do it.
Exactly.
So we waited till March when it was a little warmer. And even at that, it was
Still a little.
30s and raining and blowing and,
Yeah.
and so, but we got it all finished in March. And we hadn't run it again
Right.
because of this weather. It's such a rare airplane, it just doesn't make sense. Pull it out in the weather. And do that. So we just let it sit until we caught up with things at work and waited for this nice spring weather. And so now we're all here. And Stuart, he's one of our primary pilots on this stuff, very experienced guy. He's a mechanic too, and he's part of the team. We told him we were coming out. He goes, "I'll go with you." We picked him up in Dallas. He's a busy guy. He drove up here with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so kind of a brother of mine. So anyway, here we inspections that are due.
Right.
And it's just prudent to kind of look at all the systems. So we had to haul all these big jacks up here, jack the airplane up.
Yep.
We do these gear swings and just make sure that everything's working properly.
Right.
So when he flies the airplane tomorrow or so,
Right.
then we know everything's good. So we're assured we've got a good airplane. It's current on all the inspections and a double engine change on airplanes is a big deal. We're going out of here on our first flight with 2 engines and never been flown before.
Exactly.
You know, if you change one engine, you know you got at least one good one that you've flown behind.
Right. Right.
Now, these engines are overhauled, again, by guys that specialize in this stuff. We have a lot of confidence in their work,
Sure.
but it's still a big deal. The people at EAA have graciously offered to put it in their museum
Hmm.
until the end of July when their big air show is, which was where we would go with the airplane, where we were going last year. with the
Right.
airplane.
Right.
And, you know, we arrived here last year in the middle of a spraying season with
I know.
this, with one engine feathered, a B-25, a P-47, a Caravan on floats with a custom paint job on it. Well, we could have had an air show right here, and
Good.
all the sprayers out there going in every different direction.
Exactly.
So it was a busy day here, here at Freeport, but thank God they were all here, so.
Amazing.
Only one of its kind flying right now.
Which is just incredible.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
2 of them under restoration, but this is the only one flying right now, so. Howard Hughes had a couple of these that he operated for a while. It was, it has a lot of World War II history. They operated them in every theater of operation. It operated from before the war till the end of the war. Very popular with his pilots. It was a great airplane. Little known, but it's still a great airplane.
Freeport Museum.
First ever.
Yeah.